Hello everyone, back again with another video. So today I want to talk about routine and why it's important to change your routine every once in a while. So maybe at this stage in your life, you have a very set routine. You wake up at a certain time, you perform certain tasks like go to the gym at 5 a.m. in the morning, and you've been doing this for months. When you finish work, you start working on your side project, or you meal prep, or you just have a very fixed routine, and it's a very positive routine that you have created for yourself, right? You are getting results and everything is going fine. But it's also very important to change or slightly tweak your routine every once in a while, because sometimes your brain gets used to the same thing, the same pattern every single time, that there is no room for growth anymore, because your brain is just so used to it. It's like performing the same exercises in the gym consistently. Monday's chest day. I want to do bench press. I'm going to dumbbell flies. The same thing every single time. But there's no change. You're doing the same reps, the same frequency, the same speed, at the pace at which you're going when you're lifting those weights. Everything is the same. But how are you going to expect different results if you're doing the same thing every single time? Not only that, it translates into other aspects of your life as well. Things that would surprise you. For example, when you go to work, say you commute to work, you got to drive. You always take the highway because it's the most efficient route. You know, um, is this something that you're used to? But not once did you ever think about taking just the local route by waking up a little extra early so you can so you don't take the highway, you just take the local streets. I bet you never thought of that, right? Because number one, it takes longer, right? And so you want to get to your objective as quickly as possible, but it is based upon your schedule, because you woke up at a certain time, you need to get to work at a certain time. But what if you decided to change that? What if you decided to wake up a little bit earlier so you can take those local streets to get to work? By doing that, the benefits of doing that is that you're exposing your brain to like a new environment. you know you're creating neural pathways in your brain. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it actually does make a difference. It makes a difference in how your brain grows, how your brain develops, and it sustains the lifespan of your mind. you know many people, a lot of us, we just do the same thing every single time. But yes, we may be getting certain results, but we could be getting better results, or we could be growing, or we could be missing out on certain opportunities by changing certain aspects of our life just a little bit. you know that's why for me, like, I always try to change things up a little bit. Even in my workout routine, I recently started skipping before a workout, 10 minutes right before a workout, to warm up the legs. Or sometimes what I do is I just come in and I do some burpees in the studio before I actually start lifting weights. Or sometimes what I do is I start doing body weight squats, like 20, 30, 40 reps before I start doing chest day. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? But guess what? It confuses the body. And when the body is confused, when the mind is slightly confused, the mind finds new neural pathways. Mind finds new ways to get better, to adapt, you know? Not only this, maybe you go to the same coffee shop every single day, and you see that the coworkers there, but you never ever strike a conversation with them. You see the people who are sitting on the tables by themselves, but you never ever strike a conversation with them. You see them every day, but you never did. But what if one day you decide to change that up? What if one day you decide to talk to that person who's reading that newspaper, and then you find out that he's a CEO of some company, and he can help you elevate your career path, you know? And he was very grateful that you even had a conversation with him in the first place. It doesn't even have to be about business. You may have made someone's day just by talking to them. What if you see that same girl in the library every single day for the past year where you have been studying, but you never ever approached her? But one day, what if you decide to swallow your pride and take a chance and talk to her and say, listen, man, what are you studying? Like, what's your name? Like, maybe we can study together or something like that. Whatever. What this does, man, it creates even mini adventures in your life, like exciting adventures. When you do different things, when you start tweaking at certain aspects of your life, you start creating more adventure in your life. And when we're stuck in a routine, it's almost like we're stuck in the matrix. I'm pretty sure you have seen the matrix if you're watching this video, and you know how that works. But everyone's just stuck in a routine. They're just stuck in this certain lifestyle, this rat race. But when you start just going a little slightly outside of your comfort zone, when you start taking different paths, when you go for a hike, or when when you start changing your workout routine, or when you start changing how you interact with people, when you start doing these things, you're opening up yourself to new opportunities. You're opening up yourself to potential adventures or new paths that you never know will lead to, and may lead to something beautiful. A lot of us, when we travel or when we have plans, we create a very fixed itinerary when we go to on vacation. We're gonna go visit this place. 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 But sometimes what happens is when we go to these places, plans change. The weather might be really bad, so we can't go to this temple or this beach. But instead, we gotta have another. Then, and doesn't it get more interesting? Doesn't life get more fun when you don't follow a fixed routine? When you don't follow, when the plan doesn't, when you don't follow the plan, we gotta be more adaptable. All of us have to become more adaptable, man. And the way to become adaptable is to be a little bit uncomfortable, to be in situations where you're vulnerable, to be in situations where you don't know what the F is going on. Because that way you learn, and that way you grow as a person. Because we cannot stay stagnant forever, man. We cannot stay the same forever, man. You know, a lot of people, especially in certain countries, they stick to the one job for the rest of their life until they retire. And I'm talking about places like Japan, for example, where a lot of Japanese people, they work in an office setting, and they dedicate their whole life to this job for the rest of their life, but they never actually see other aspects, and they never actually try to pursue other careers or other industries that they may be more passionate about. It's the same thing with our lifestyle too in the West. It's the same thing. A lot of us, we get so comfortable in this bubble. We get so comfortable living a very fixed routine, and we may be getting results. We may be gaining some sort of benefit from these positive habits that we have protruded for ourselves. But it's important to change stuff once in a while so you can grow, so you can get better, so you're able to realize what's on the other side. Many of us never know what's on the other side because we're so comfortable in our own little bubble. You know, whenever an opportunity gets presented to us, many of us just say no because we're just afraid of what's going to happen. But going back to essentially about routine, routine is great. Everyone needs to have a positive routine because it creates discipline. But sometimes it's okay to change stuff. It's okay to change your sleeping routine from 10 to 6 to 8 to 4. Sometimes it's okay to take an alternate path when you're traveling to a new place, when you're going somewhere else. Sometimes it's okay to sit on a bench by yourself and read a book instead of constantly being on your phone all day scrolling through social media. Sometimes it's okay to reward yourself with a nice dinner at a fancy restaurant once in a while. Sometimes it's okay to shower yourself with gifts. Sometimes it's okay to do these things because it creates a sense of excitement in our lives. When we're doing the same shit every single day, life gets boring, bro. Life becomes boring. You don't want your life to be boring, man. You want to have memories which you remember. You want to have little adventures that you may remember. Oh, that cool person you talked to on top of the mountain that you hiked in Malaysia. All because you spoke to that person and that person invites you to their house for dinner. And it all started with you taking the initiative to step outside your comfort zone and do something different. It all started with that. So if you're watching this, please start changing up certain things in your life. Even if Your routine is going well, start changing some things up. Start planning something exciting. Plan a trip up to another country, like a backpacking trip by yourself. Don't wait on anyone. Plan something that you're looking forward to. Go somewhere new, travel somewhere different, do some form of new interaction, learn something new through a book instead of through a screen. And I promise you, life will become more fun. Life will become more adventurous. You're gonna start waking up every day. You're gonna be like, "Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen today. Today I'm gonna take a. Today I'm gonna go to this new little town or this new little bar or this new little library that just opened up, and I'm gonna see what kind of books I'm gonna see, what kind of adventures I'm gonna have, what kind of food I'm gonna try." You gotta be this type of person, man. You gotta be this type of person. Don't be so fixated on certain things. Don't be so comfortable with a certain lifestyle because you deserve to have other aspects of lifestyle in your life. You deserve to have different things in your life come at you. You deserve it. You want to know why you deserve it? It's because you're living right now. You're alive. You're a human being. You know what I mean? You're a human being who is capable of greatness. You have two eyes, you have ears, you have all of these beautiful things. So use it. You have a brain. So use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's as simple as that. You know? When I was in my 20s, I would always try to do different things in my life. You know what I mean? I would try to go scuba diving, which I did in the Bahamas. I would try to do a little bit of bungee jumping. I would try new things to make my life exciting. And if I didn't do those things, I feel like I would just go through life with like on autopilot and not really have anything to look forward to and to have a very closed mind. Because when you do different things, when you try different things, your mind becomes open. You become open to new ideas. You become more optimistic. And when you start tweaking different aspects of your life, when you start taking an alternate path, you you'll be surprised as to what you may come across. Something that may change your life drastically. You never know, you know? Just because something is very easy and efficient doesn't mean that it's good for you, you know? Just because something is of easily available doesn't mean that it's right for you, you know? Sometimes we got to take the hard route in life. Sometimes we got to take the difficult paths. Like as I said earlier in this video, that sometimes you got to, instead of taking the highway to work because you know it's fast and efficient, you start taking the local routes. Yes, it's going to take longer. Yes, there may be some traffic, but you're learning a life skill from that. You're learning how to be patient. You're also maybe seeing new buildings in the area that you never saw before. Maybe a new restaurant that opened up and you would have easily not have known about it if you kept taking the highway to work every single time. You didn't know that that restaurant was there. You didn't know about it. But now you know. You know? Anyways, thank you for watching. See you next time.